Why fasting deepen your connection with God, and 2 things you should never do while fasting. God created the human body as a highly tuned physical engine of immense power, but it needs fuel to keep running. This fuel is known as food. God instilled in us an appetite for food known as hunger to ensure that the body gets fueled. Food satisfies our appetites and provides us with energy as part of nature's balance to keep life moving. So why would someone choose to go hungry? The abstaining from eating is referred to in the Bible as fasting. A fast is typically undertaken for a defined period to achieve a spiritual goal. But what's its purpose and benefits? How to avoid forbidden action while fasting, how to transform your faith through fasting. Last but not least, what is the comprehensive spiritual guide for whom want to fasting? Let's consider the answers for that amazing questions on the below video. What is fasting, and what is the purpose of fasting for religious reasons? In modern times, we are conditioned to eat 3 times a day. We were taught in school to eat 3 full meals a day and exercise to stay strong. So, why skip meals? The world calls not eating dieting, and often does it to lose weight or for health reasons, but some abstain from eating for spiritual reasons. This is referred to in the Bible as fasting. A fast is typically undertaken for a defined period to achieve a spiritual goal. Consider the following example from the Old Testament. Once a year, the Jewish faithful were required to fast. Leviticus 16 verse 29 states, "And this shall be a statute forever for you. In the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you shall afflict your souls and do no work at all, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger who sojourns among you." This is known as the Yom Kippur fast because it was observed on the Day of Atonement. The phrase Yom Kippur means Day of Atonement. God required his people to fast once a year on the Day of Atonement. Why did everyone fast? Because God wished for all to remember the solemn experience of their salvation. On the Day of Atonement, the high priest entered the Holy of Holies and offered the blood of an animal in exchange for the sins of all. Leviticus 16:4 states, "And he shall wash his flesh with water in the holy place and put on his garments, and come forth and offer his burnt offering and the burnt offering of the people, and make an atonement for himself and for the people." Because the Day of Atonement dealt with the sins of the nation, everyone fasted to identify with the high priest, who sacrificed a lamb for the forgiveness of their sins. Jesus told his disciples, "When you fast," Matthew 6:16-18. "When you fast, do not look somber like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces to show others they are fasting. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, so that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting, but only to your Father who is unseen, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you." When you give up foods both pleasurable and necessary, you catch God's attention. Even back then, Jesus warned us not to flaunt our fasting. Jesus cautioned his disciples not to fast for public acclaim. The fact that he said, "whenever you fast," indicates that he considers fasting a legitimate spiritual discipline. Fasting is temporarily abstaining from a bodily desire, usually food, in favor of a spiritual need. Instead of eating, you dedicate yourself to secret prayer, seeking God's intervention. However, if your goal in avoiding food is so that others praise how spiritual you appear, then their approval will be your reward. Things people worry about when it comes to fasting. If you have never fasted before, the idea of going without food for any period is likely daunting. People are concerned about a variety of issues. Because we are programmed to eat 3 times a day, many wonder if they will feel hungry and if the hunger pangs will be painful. Others have different concerns, such as whether they can endure the fast. They do not want to embark on a journey they cannot complete. What if you see a TV commercial suggesting that a chocolate bar will help you get through an afternoon energy slump? Others worry about how their friends will perceive them if they fast. Will my friends think I'm strange if they find out I'm fasting? The answer is simple. You do not fast to impress your friends, and you usually do not even tell them. As previously mentioned, Jesus said, "When you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, so that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting, but only to your Father, who is unseen, and your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you openly." Matthew 6:17-18. Jesus was reminding us not to make an outward show of our religious devotion to God. Instead, fasting is a private commitment between you and God. You can fast in private and tell no one. Other times you might participate in a public fast, such as with your church or another individual, to address a problem. Ezra fasted with 4,000 people, and Esther asked all Jewish believers to fast for divine intervention. Every year in May, Christians are invited to participate in the National Day of Prayer and Fasting. Let me take a brief pause for asking you, leave your comments below this video. Say with us your understanding about the purpose and benefits of fasting. Individually, have you ever got fasting? Can you share your opinions, your experience, and all of us can enhance our spiritual journeys, having grateful approach to life. How is fasting different from dieting for health reasons? Fasting is not the same as dieting, nor is it about eliminating food for health reasons. There are many types of fasts for spiritual reasons, and there are many reasons to fast and pair the experience with prayer. Fasting is a biblical discipline that can help anyone improve their spiritual fitness and become a prayer warrior for God. Some believe that Christians don't require discipline, but we build our strength through spiritual exercises. We must remember that we are soldiers of Christ. A good soldier is proficient in a variety of disciplines. Fasting is just one of the many disciplines of a Christian. Jesus told his disciples that when you pray for others, whether for your church or for people's salvation, Satan will oppose you. Fasting, like climbing a mountain, is demanding both spiritually and physically. Embark on this adventure with a clear understanding of what you are doing, and with the knowledge that the path ahead may be challenging, but the rewards will be well worth it. Start small if this is your first fast. God will honor your first step of faith, which may seem small to others, but will be a great step for you. Fasting is a spiritual discipline observed in many religious and cultural traditions. While the act itself may seem simple, temporarily giving up physical sustenance, the underlying purpose and benefits of fasting are profound and multifaceted. Understanding these aspects can deepen one's appreciation for this ancient practice and enhance its effectiveness in one's spiritual journey. At its core, fasting is an intentional act of self-denial that is designed to refocus one's mind and spirit on what truly matters. It is not just about abstaining from food, but about creating a space for spiritual growth and connection with the divine. By stepping away from the physical need for food, individuals can turn their attention inward and upward, seeking a closer relationship with God or a higher power. In many religious traditions, fasting is seen as a way to humble oneself before God, acknowledging that spiritual nourishment is more vital than physical sustenance. In Christianity, for instance, fasting is often paired with prayer, reflecting the belief that denying the body can help free the spirit to seek God more earnestly. This is echoed in the Bible, where Jesus fasted for 40 days in the wilderness, demonstrating the importance of spiritual over physical sustenance. Fasting is also a way to express repentance and seek forgiveness. In the Old Testament, fasting was often associated with times of mourning or penitence, as individuals sought to purify themselves before God. Similarly, in Islam, fasting during Ramadan serves as an opportunity for believers to seek forgiveness for their sins, cultivate self-discipline, and purify their souls. The benefits of fasting extend beyond the spiritual realm and into the physical, mental, and emotional aspects of life. Spiritually, fasting can lead to a deeper sense of connection with God or a higher power. By denying oneself physical comforts, individuals can develop greater spiritual resilience and clarity. This process often leads to a heightened sense of purpose and direction, as the noise and distractions of daily life are minimized, allowing for a clearer focus on spiritual goals. Fasting can also serve as a powerful tool for self-discipline. The act of controlling one's physical desires helps strengthen willpower and self-control, which can be applied to other areas of life. This discipline is not only beneficial for spiritual growth, but can also enhance personal and professional life by fostering habits of persistence and resilience. Mentally, fasting encourages mindfulness and introspection. Without the usual distractions of meals and snacks, individuals have the opportunity to reflect on their lives, assess their priorities, and make conscious decisions about their future. This mental clarity can lead to significant personal insights and a deeper understanding of one's motivations and desires. Physically, while fasting is not primarily about health, it can have positive effects on the body. Intermittent fasting, for example, has been shown to promote better metabolic health, improve insulin sensitivity, and support weight management. However, these benefits should be approached with caution and balanced with a healthy lifestyle, as fasting is not a substitute for proper nutrition and medical care. Emotionally, fasting can cultivate a sense of gratitude and humility. By experiencing hunger and denying oneself comfort, individuals are reminded of the blessings they often take for granted. This can lead to a deeper appreciation for the food, resources, and comforts that are available to them, fostering a spirit of thankfulness and generosity. In conclusion, fasting is a multifaceted spiritual discipline with deep roots in various religious and cultural traditions. Its purpose extends beyond mere abstention from food, serving as a powerful means of spiritual growth, repentance, and self-discipline. The benefits of fasting are holistic, encompassing spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional well-being. God listens to what your heart responds during fasting. God also cares about your heart's response during fasting. Your attitude is a very serious part of your fast. Just as when a man proposes to a woman, it is not the length of his proposal that gets a yes, but the heart behind it. So, when you begin to fast, don't worry about how long your fast should last. Just make sure your relationship with God is in good order. God knows everything. He understands and values the sincerity of your prayers more than their length. If you have never fasted before, start with a simple fast by skipping one meal. In the Old Testament, Jews were required to fast for 1 day on Yom Kippur each year. A day, according to the Jewish calendar, began at sunset and ended at sunset the next day. God taught the Jews to count their days so that the evening and the morning were the first day. Genesis 1:5. Plan to start your fast when the sun sets, or maybe just before sunset. This means you will skip the normal evening meal, then skip breakfast and lunch the next day. After the sun sets, most Jews broke their fast by eating a normal meal. Even though private prayer and fasting are the foundation of all intercession, if you have never walked this path before, you might want to start your fasting journey with another person. If you are fasting for a specific answer to prayer, invite someone to pray and fast with you. There is strength in numbers. Jesus said in Matthew 18:18-19, "Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Again, truly I tell you, that if 2 of you on earth agree about anything you ask for, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. These verses are not just about prayer, they are also about the commitment we make in agreement with another person. Think of it this way. When you plan a vacation with another person, it's more memorable if you plan, dream, and share experiences together. When you share your vacation with another person, you probably enjoy it more. The same is true for fasting. When you share the experience of fasting and praying together, your prayers are likely to be more focused. Fasting with another person, on the other hand, has additional benefits. You have someone to discuss your doubts, questions, and fears with. If fasting intimidates you, the strength of another person can help you overcome it. You can always call each other for advice and to check how it's going. This phone call might give you the motivation you need to keep going. Don't forget the celebration. When you climb a mountain alone, you're doing it to prove something to yourself, and the victory is solely yours. But when you climb with others, you have many people to celebrate with when you reach the top. You celebrate, embrace, and then return to tell everyone about your victory. When you finish the fast, you can rejoice together. Simply being together makes the taste of victory even sweeter. Another advantage of fasting with a friend is that it establishes accountability. You'll be less tempted to eat a snack or break your fast if you know a friend is aware of your fasting. Perhaps you've already run or walked for health with a friend. If so, you understand how having a partner can help you stay committed when things get tough. If you are strong, you might not need someone to help with accountability, but if you're not, teaming up with someone in the same boat can be beneficial. If you find this content intriguing, I encourage you to support us with your subscription. Hit the bell button so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. When you're preparing to fast, look deep within your heart to discover why you're fasting. There are countless reasons for fasting, which we will discuss. You might already have a reason. When young David faced Goliath, no other Israeli soldier wanted to confront the giant. They not only refused to fight Goliath, but each gave David a different reason to avoid the battle. However, David was undeterred. He had a compelling reason to fight that particular giant. It's not just about praying and fasting. We fast for a reason. Are you willing to fast and give up your pleasures? Make a list of your causes. Write them down on paper so you can see them with your own eyes. When you keep a cause only in your mind, it can become blurry or vague. You might have a general idea of why you should fast now, but take time to write down your reasons. This will sharpen your focus if you see it written. Besides, don't enter your fast casually or with a careless attitude. Plan to succeed. If you don't, you're likely to fail. Don't participate in a fast just to see how far you can go. I'll try until I get hungry, some people have said about fasting. They then give up at the first sign of discomfort. Make a firm commitment to fast for a day regardless of the circumstances. You've moved from thinking about fasting and wanting to be more spiritual to taking the next step and committing to seek God for your cause. You are committed to fasting based on God's grace and help. How does fasting strengthen your spirit and faith? Fasting is one of the most revered spiritual disciplines practiced across various religions and cultures. It is not merely an act of abstaining from food, rather it is a profound exercise in self-discipline, spiritual reflection, and faith enhancement. Through fasting, individuals can connect more deeply with their spiritual beliefs, fortify their faith, and rejuvenate their spirit. Understanding the sacred discipline of fasting and how it can be utilized to strengthen one's faith and spirit is key to unlocking its transformative power. Fasting holds a unique place in spiritual practices because it directly confronts one of the most basic human needs, the need for food. By voluntarily abstaining from food, individuals demonstrate their willingness to place spiritual growth above physical needs. This act of self-denial is seen as a way to purify the soul, remove distractions, and create a focused environment where one can commune with the divine. In many religious traditions, fasting is closely linked with prayer. The physical act of fasting is often accompanied by increased devotion, prayer, and meditation, making it a holistic spiritual practice. This combination of physical sacrifice and spiritual focus serves to elevate the fasting experience, transforming it into a powerful tool for deepening one's faith. Fasting is also a way to express humility and dependence on a higher power. By denying oneself the comforts of food, one acknowledges the limitations of the human body and the need for spiritual sustenance. This humility is an essential component of faith, as it reinforces the belief that true strength and nourishment come from the divine rather than from material sources. The process of fasting can significantly strengthen one's faith in several ways. Firstly, it enhances self-discipline, a crucial element in spiritual growth. The discipline required to abstain from food for a specific period translates into greater control over one's desires and actions, making it easier to resist temptations and stay true to one's spiritual path. Secondly, fasting intensifies spiritual focus. By removing the routine of eating, individuals create space in their lives for deeper reflection and prayer. This heightened focus allows for a more intimate connection with God or a higher power, enabling a deeper understanding of spiritual teachings and a stronger commitment to living according to those principles. Moreover, fasting encourages a greater reliance on faith. During a fast, especially extended ones, physical weakness may set in and the hunger pangs may become challenging to bear. It is in these moments of vulnerability that faith is tested and ultimately strengthened. By enduring these hardships with a spirit of devotion, individuals reinforce their trust in the divine to sustain them, both physically and spiritually. Fasting is not only about strengthening faith, it is also a powerful means of rejuvenating the spirit. In the fast-paced world we live in, it is easy to become disconnected from our spiritual selves. Fasting offers a retreat from the constant demands of life, allowing for a period of introspection and renewal. During a fast, individuals often experience a sense of spiritual clarity and enlightenment. The absence of physical nourishment shifts the focus to spiritual sustenance, leading to moments of profound insight and revelation. This spiritual renewal is further enhanced by the practice of prayer and meditation, which are integral components of fasting in many traditions. Additionally, fasting fosters a spirit of gratitude and compassion. Experiencing hunger, even for a short period, can create a deeper empathy for those who suffer from chronic hunger and poverty. This empathy can inspire acts of charity and kindness, further nurturing the spirit and aligning it with the virtues of compassion and generosity. Fasting offers a time-honored path to spiritual enrichment and renewal. Different forms of fasting. The absolute fast is a fast where you eliminate all food and water. Paul underwent this type of fast for 3 days after seeing the Lord Jesus on the road to Damascus and being struck with blindness. And he, Paul, was without sight for 3 days, and neither ate nor drank. Acts 9:9. For your first fast, do not undertake the absolute fast. This fast is intended for those who are deeply distressed or are fasting to resolve a severe problem, such as deliverance from an addiction or protection against a spiritual adversary. The normal fast involves avoiding all solid food and drinking only liquids, which is the most often used fast. In the Bible, when referring to people who ate no solid food, the matter of drinking liquids is often left out. In those days, Jesus, ate nothing, and at the end of them, he was hungry. Luke 4:2. There is no mention of Jesus drinking liquids. When people fast, what do they drink? Many cut out pleasurable drinks like soda and various types of fruit juices. This corresponds to the Old Testament description of them afflicting themselves and fasting, Isaiah 58:3. You also should know about the partial fast. In this fast, you eliminate certain liquids or solids, but not all. This is also known as the Daniel fast, because he would not eat from the king's table, but insisted, as in Daniel 1:12, "Please test your servants for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink." The fast did not harm Daniel or his friends. At another time, Daniel reflected the spirit of the partial fast. "I ate no choice food, no meat or wine touched my lips, and I used no lotions until the 3 weeks were over." Daniel 10:3. This partial fast specifies what Daniel avoided. 1. Pleasant foods. similar to our desserts like donuts or cakes. 2. Meat, a meat-free diet. And 3. Wine, or anything that is pleasurable or brings joy. Another fast is John Wesley's fast. As the founder and leader of the great Methodist movement, John Wesley called all his circuit preachers to the New Chapel or to London for a conference every 2 or 3 months. To prepare spiritually for the conference, Wesley fasted for 10 days before each meeting, consuming only natural whole-grain bread and drinking water. Wesley fasted and prayed for spiritual power to influence his ministries at these meetings. Everyone agrees that these Methodist preachers left the conference with a resolve to change the world, a reflection of God's honor to Wesley's spiritual dedication to fasting and prayer. The rotation fast. This fast is rarely used in Christian circles, as it is primarily used for medical purposes, mainly to determine a person's reaction or allergy to specific food groups and to cleanse their system. The patient usually undertakes a normal or absolute fast for 1 day, then for 6 days only one new food group is introduced and consumed each day, rotating among the food groups. This helps determine which food is causing a person's physical problem through elimination and exclusion. How to choose the right form of fasting. When preparing to fast, several factors need to be considered. Consider your specific situation before deciding on the best approach for you. Here are some ideas. First-time fasting factor. As mentioned earlier, if this is your first fast, I recommend starting with the 1-day Yom Kippur fast. If you wish to fast for a longer period to address a serious or ongoing issue, perhaps fasting 1 day a week for 3 weeks might be preferable to starting with a 3-day fast. Remember, if this is your first fast, you are embarking on an unfamiliar journey. Proceed with caution as you are learning new skills and attitudes for both your body and soul. Your first fast should be a normal fast where you eat nothing and only consume liquids for 1 day. This practice will help train your body to not react negatively if you later eliminate both food and liquid. Matching factor. Try to match the reason for your fast to the type of fast. Choose a normal fast for a routine request. Choose a fast with more stringent requirements for a more serious problem. Comfort factor. You should feel at peace with both the duration and the type of fast. When deciding what you will eliminate when praying, you should not doubt yourself nor feel guilty for doing something wrong. Choose a type of fast that allows you to be comfortable with your decision. Timing factor. A variety of factors influence your decision to fast or the duration of your fast. Think about your weekly schedule. What days of the week are not suitable for fasting? What special events are coming up when fasting is not advisable, such as Thanksgiving, Christmas, weddings, etc.? Never start a fast with a long fast, as you have no idea what to expect from your body or how you will react emotionally. A 1-day fast is very manageable. Whatever fast you choose as your first, keep in mind that it is a leap of faith. God sees your heart and will reward you accordingly. If this content was valuable to you, I ask for your support with your subscription so that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Together, we can enlighten more minds and expand our understanding. Thank you for being here, and may God bless you.